Yes, people, what's going on? It's Got Talks Football. We're back again with another video. Do me a favor, please do hit that like button, please do hit that subscribe button, and let's talk about it today. We're going to be live on YouTube and on Twitter, so of course, if you guys are watching on whichever platform, please do follow, please do subscribe, and of course, please do give me a like on Twitter, and of course, give me a like on YouTube. Now, before we go any further, this has been a very, very, very rocky week for Arsenal, to say the least. First, last weekend, Liverpool go on to win the league. On midweek on Tuesday, we lose to PSG, and then yesterday we lost to Bournemouth, and it got really dark because for a second we were going to be 2 points off Newcastle, a couple points off Chelsea, and a couple points off Man City. Luckily, Brighton got the result, so we're not too far. So Newcastle's not on our tail, but Chelsea, Manchester City, they're literally right there. I can feel their hot breath just on me. That's how close they are. But you know something? Should we really care about the league position if you're not coming in first, and we're coming in second, coming in third, coming in fourth, wherever we finish, as long as we finish in the top Champions League spots? Should we really care? And also, do people care that Arsenal got robbed for another handball? I know you're going to say excuses, refereeing decisions. We should have still won the game. But Evan Nilsson's goal was clearly a handball. Everyone knows it's a handball. Even rival fans will tell you it's a handball, but they'll tell you they don't give a shit. And that's another reason why tribalism in football is a mess. But before we go any further, and I go on to monologues and talk about all the other stuff that I need to talk about, today, I do feel like it's going to be a thing where it's going to be Arsenal's going to get cooked. But if you go and get the job done versus PSG, nobody gives a shit. No one will care. No one will care. Everyone's going to move on. That is the truth. Everyone will move on. Everyone in their mom will move on and be like, you know what? That's all that matters. That will be all that matters. But before we go any further, let me bring the first fan on. The Liverpool fan, Rack, is in the building. You got your guard of honor. How you feeling?
There'll be a sweeter one coming next week. No,
you guys, I'm kidding. The way you guys played, you guys are on the beach. You guys couldn't care.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think all Liverpool fans will say we want to win the rest of the games, and I do want to win the rest of the games. But ultimately, they are a little bit inconsequential. But you know, I don't like Chelsea, so I'd like to beat them. But yeah, ultimately, it doesn't really make much difference. But still, I didn't want to lose, and I've got my business partner's a Chelsea fan. All three of his kids are Chelsea fans, so they were already texting me during the game and laughing at me and all this kind of stuff. And you know, with kids, what can you say, right? Even if I say, yeah, we're champions, they're not going to stop. So yeah, it's all good though, all good.
Okay. Before we go any further, guys, please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. Jay will be joining us. Ahmed will be joining us. Vater will also be joining us. M will be joining us right away. So the moment all those guys are all finished up with what they're doing, they're gonna jump on over right now. Before we go any further, you know what? I just want to take a second and speak about a certain player. He's had a tough career. He's scored a lot of goals, but he's never been able to get over the line. He never won that major honor that he was looking for, and now he's done it. Harry Kane has won his first trophy of his career. Now, I'm not even bantering. Like, you're laughing. I'm serious. Like, I'm happy for the guy.
No.
I'm happy for the guy. Like, he's done it. It's away from Tottenham. It's away from the place that would give me a headache. He's doing this. Oh, he's doing it over there. He's not doing it with the noisy neighbors or the quiet neighbors, as we should call them, as they don't really give us too many problems, those guys, right? But yeah, shout out to Harry Kane. He finally got himself. You know what somebody posted? He posted a trophy emoji in celebration, and somebody said to him, "Congratulations, you're officially a professional footballer."
Shit. Oh dear. Well, yeah, I don't know whether you genuinely are happy for him, but I'm sure for him it's nice
I
to.
don't really hold agendas
Look,
against him.
Kane genuinely has been a world class player for the best part of a decade now, and it would be weird for him to not win a trophy. And like, let's be honest, he arguably picked the easiest place to go to win a trophy, and yet he still managed to fail in his first season. But that wasn't down to him because
First time in 50 years they went trophyless, bro.
yeah, and it was don't get me wrong, that Leverkusen last season were incredible, so it was kind of a bit of bad luck, but that kind of luck's never going to last. So yeah, he got his trophy. He has been an exceptional player over the last, like I said, best part of a decade. And
Look at that. So Harry Kane with the trophy. Where's the tweet? I seen the tweet somewhere here. It was a hilarious tweet. Maybe he took it down. Maybe he polices his tweets. Maybe he polices his tweets because I seen a post from Mike, the Man United fan.
Mhm.
And he didn't say congratulations. He just said, now welcome to being a pro footballer. I don't want to check hidden ever. Never check hidden tweets. Yeah, no, there's no hidden tweets. So I don't know. Maybe he deleted them. But yeah, long story short, Harry Kane, congratulations, you won your award. And you know what? Another person you should congratulate, Vincent Company. Company goes over there, faced a lot of criticism when he got the job. Barack, remember? People were talking about him not deserving it, all this other stuff. And not only did he get it, he won in the first season. And so that's something that some other managers, like last year, who's the manager? Thomas Tuchel. Did he ever win the Bundesliga?
Yeah.
Did Tuchel must have won it the first time?
Yeah, he was there for 2 seasons. He won it his first season, but he didn't win it last year.
Yeah, so to get the league back, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, I mean it's the minimum expected at Bayern. It's the minimum expected.
So. Is it too easy to win the league at Bayern?
I mean, look, trying to be objective, how often have Bayern won the league in the last 10 seasons? 9 times, if I'm not wrong. You don't really see that in England. You've seen it in Italy, to be fair. You've seen it in France. You don't see that. You see it like long periods of winning, but I wouldn't say you see that consecutive kind of run of victories in Spain, because you've got Atletico and Madrid. I don't think you've ever seen like an 8 or 9. So yeah, but that's you can only beat who you come up against.
All right. You know what? Let's go to the next thing. While we're waiting for the boys, I wanted to touch on some of the other topics with Iraq. So once they join, we can talk about the main stuff that everyone's going to be talking about. What the hell? Did you know Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Brentford are the only team in the world that have more than 3 players with 10 plus goals in their respective leagues? What?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No.
This is crazy. I went on the Premier League Twitter page just to check something, and then I seen Brentford, Barcelona, and friggin' Bayern Munich in the same breath, and I was like, "What the fuck? Look at this! They're the only team in the league that has 3 plus players in the league scored 10 plus goals. Bayern have more than 4, and Barca have 3. I'm surprised Yamal doesn't have more than 10 goals. What?
I wonder if what Diaz and Gakpo have in terms of Premier League goals. They must be pretty close. I'm guessing.
Shocked.
I don't know the exact numbers.
Diaz. It must be one of Gakpo or Diaz are under 10 goals in the league, because it's league goals only. So Diaz has 12. How much does Gakpo have?
Maybe
Gakpo must have like 9 or something. Yeah, he has 9 exactly.
Okay. All right.
He has 9 exactly. So that's crazy.
Imagine that many more. But yeah.
Mbeumo, Wesa, and Schultz are the best 3, the best big 3 in the league. That is crazy. Sometimes you look at these pages just to see if you can find something that you're looking for, and then you find the most craziest stats. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Watch, you're gonna see some people posting about Wesa scoring 18 goals, making fun of all the other strikers in the league. How is he scoring 18 goals in the league? And Buemo, I said to Terry, if Manchester United sign Buemo and he gets a hairline, he'll be their most marketable player.
Well, I mean, his competition, his competition is Rasmus Højlund, and so I'm not so sure that's big competition. To be fair.
Hey, we're not talking about Rasmus right now. We're not talking about Rasmus. But next, the Newcastle. Bro, Newcastle bottled it today. Forget about Arsenal. We're going to get there. We're going to get to Man City. Newcastle's Champions League hopes today, they needed a crucial win. What did they do?
So tight. They got. Did they have 3 penalties or 3? But 2 of them were disallowed or something.
They got 3 penalties. 2 of them were disallowed. You can tell somebody's a Newcastle fan. Somebody was a Newcastle fan in that VAR booth today, because the amount of calls that went their way. Luckily, VAR actually looked at it and overturned some of them. But in this game today, for them to come out of there with a draw, I'm quite shocked. Newcastle appeared to be set for a really, really, really damaging defeat. But at least Isak can get something out of it for them with that penalty that he scored. But yeah, they did have a couple penalties. VAR canceled the penalty for Joe Willock. I don't remember what the other penalty situation was, but I remember that a penalty was canceled. A penalty was canceled. That was the first. I don't know what happened in the other situation, but yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see. Newcastle had the refs on their side, and that was Isak's first touch, by the way. Interesting. Yeah, honestly, I'm just happy, Rack, that I don't have to deal with Arsenal fans. And the reason why I say that is because everything in my fan base turns toxic the moment we start dropping points, to the point where it was so crazy. You have people saying death threats to you for bigging up Odegaard. Like, it's nuts. It's actually nuts. But it's not death threats. Like, the social media thing where they're like, I'll celebrate when you die or something. Them ones.
Yeah,
stupid
yeah.
shit. But basically, I put out there that I'm happy that Newcastle drew, so I don't have to deal with Arsenal fans having a meltdown for Newcastle being 2 points behind us. Somebody then goes, well, your toxic positivity doesn't help either. You're making fun of the other people. I'm like, I'm just saying I'm happy. Like, why does my happiness mean I'm making fun of somebody else? I'm just happy I don't have to deal with the Twitter meltdowns from other people. Simple. But yeah, that's why I wanted to mention that. What do you say? What are you saying, bro? How you doing?
Big up, man. I'm good, bro. I'm good. Big up, chat. Big up, Gab. Sorry, big up everyone in the chat. I'm good.
Did you care about your result today? In the sense that you lost convincingly.
Ruben Abraham didn't, I don't think. Judging by that starting lineup.
When it was 4-1, I was just like, look, it's not nice conceding 4 goals, especially when we've just won a game in Europe, which we played really well in. So I just felt like it was a bit of a downer. But it was a makeshift team, and a lot of people are saying play the kids. Well, now you can see what happens when you play the kids. So you can't play the kids and then lose 4-3, but then get onto the manager for not playing the kids. So it's just, it is what it is.
People don't know what they want. People talk crazy. And you know one thing? There's a culture in football where people are fake angry. There's a culture of fake anger.
I don't like that. It's a bit,
and it's a thing where it's like, you're angry when the players out there are playing shit, and then you're angry when you have a friggin' 17-year-old at striker in his first start for Manchester United, playing 90 minutes, and then you say to yourself, he's not ready, give him 2 years loan. What the hell are we talking about? People need to relax. Vader's in the building too. Welcome, Vader. But yeah, in case anybody missed it, Manchester United, they went super young and different today. So they had Obi, 17-year-old starting up top. They had the youngsters playing in defense. They had a young goalkeeper playing there. They had this guy Amas playing, and they even got Mason Mount thrown in there. And they gave the young striker 90 minutes. But you know what happens? You're 17 years old. You're starting a game for Manchester United. Your fan base is going to be putting a lot of pressure on him already. And game one, where he starts in the league, I'm seeing people saying, "Oh, he's not ready. Give him 2 years. He needs to bulk up." He's 17.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Gal. Especially in the chat that me and you are in.
Welcome, Jay.
Big up, Jay. Big up, everyone. Yeah, man. He's 17 years old, and like you said, you got Kobe Mainu. You had Fredrickson starting as well. For me, it's going to take time with these youngsters. You know what I mean? But you just can't throw them in there, play them 1 or 2 games, and expect them to just cook. They do need a run of games. That's the thing with these youngsters. They need a bit of consistency, and they need a run of games, because. Like Amas, for example, how many times have we seen Amas come on and like, you know what, he looks all right, but then sometimes you see him defensively and like, oh, well, you know what, he's not ready. Today, you could clearly see that he needs a run of games, and people, they need time. It's just one of them ones, man. Obi,
Ahmad scored also. He came on.
My guy, yeah. My guy scored. He looked good. He did look good when he came on, but it's just not for me. There's an issue with that midfield. Kobe Maino started as an 8 today. There's an issue there. I don't see him as a long term. I don't see him in that 8, not under the system. So just moving
you
forward.
See him more as an attacking player.
I see him if we played like a 4-3-3, I could see him as like the left of a 3, because everything good that he's done has come from that pocket, that left 10 pocket. Right? Do you remember the goal against Liverpool that he scored against you, where he cut in on his right foot? Of course you don't. Of course you don't.
Temporary amnesia.
Beto, you remember the goal he scored against you in the final, where it was like, late run into the box. But today he was kind of used as like a 6. He had one good phase of play where he 1-2'd for the first goal of Garnacho. But still, after that, he just died. He died the whole game. I just don't think he's got the physicality for that midfield role. That's the only thing. Defensively, he just looks like he's way off defensively. So in the system, I am a bit worried about him. I'll be honest with you, because next season he's not going to play Bruno in an 8. I doubt it. So you're probably going to be looking at players like Ahmad, maybe Cunha, maybe Bruno. You've got Mount there. So there's so many people that can play in that 10. So where does Kobe fit in? Do you know what I mean? Unless you try and fit him into that 8 with Agate and someone else. But even then, he just lacks something in that midfield. So I'm a bit worried for Kobe moving under this manager in this system next season.
Mm-hmm. All right. One more thing I wanted to say. In the grand scheme of things, Manchester United and Spurs both dropped points today, but you guys are focused on the Europa League. Am I wrong, Jay? You have your eggs in the Europa League basket. You're not too phased by dropping points today to West Ham. Same way he's not too phased by dropping points to Brentford.
Is Jay here?
Jay is here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh,
you do care.
Where do you go? He just dropped off?
I don't know.
All right. You don't mind though?
I just finished the show in the football locker room. Link was basically saying, he didn't really care about the Liverpool performance today, but what he did care about is the performance. I could see where he's coming from. It's a bit with me with Man United in the Premier League. It's like, look, I don't expect us to win games, but every time I play in the Premier League, I'm seeing what we're lacking, and it's just a quick reminder. So we have a good game in Europa League, and then we'll come into the Premier League, and then that will just get deflated again. So at this point, 4-3, it's not bad. 4-3, I'll take that. Hopefully none of you don't watch the game, so I can actually sit there and be like, right, well, 7 goals, guys. It was a great game, end-to-end stuff. But
How was Mason Mount? How was Mason Mount? Because he scored a goal and you still have people bitching about him.
Yeah, he didn't play well. Yeah, he did score a goal, but he's just not it. There was one time when the ball did get cut back to him. He shot with his left, took a shot with his right, but it's just not good enough. I just don't think he's what we need, man. Off the ball, I think off the ball
better off with Scott McTominay, right?
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, if you're gonna actually, 100%. If you're gonna sit there and say Scott McTominay or Mason Mount, 100% Scott McTominay would be better in this team, and he'll score goals. He's fit. I believe they're roughly around the same age. I think Scott McTominay might be a year older. I'm not quite sure. Maybe just there's a year between them, I think, but he definitely offers more. With Mount, I still don't know what he's good at. Do you know what I mean? When he's off the ball, he's very good at pressing, always the first one to give away a free kick and get a yellow card. Always, every game he's played, he's giving away a free kick and gets a yellow. Going forward, I can't sit there and say, right, his shooting is 8, 9 out of 10 because I haven't seen it, so I can't say that. Does he create? I haven't seen him get an assist. I haven't seen him create. So I just don't know what this guy is actually supposed to be good at. So maybe you lot can tell me because he's been here for coming up to 2 years now. I ain't seen shit.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm waiting to hear what Jay has to say about Spurs. Man United doesn't deserve a 20-minute segment for that performance today. But Brentford,
Wow.
we just spoke about Brentford. In case you guys don't know, Brentford have 3 goal scorers in the top with 10 goals plus in the league. That's more than Man City. That's more than every team in the league, including Liverpool. So impressive that Brentford have that many goal scorers in the team, and they're very direct. They're a very dangerous team. I had Mbeumo as my FPL captain. He kind of let me down.
Would you take Mbeumo at Arsenal, Miguel?
Yeah, I'll take him as a backup.
A backup?
Yeah.
Backup to who?
When you asked that question, I knew exactly what Miguel was going to say, and I knew exactly what your reaction to what he was going to say was going to be.
A backup to who?
He can come in. He can come in and cover on both wings.
So you're not having him over Martinelli.
No, I'm not saying I'm not having him over Martinelli. I would view him as a backup. I wouldn't view him as a starter.
No, but squad currently constructed, and you add him. Is he starting for you?
At this moment in time, with the attacking depth that we have, yeah.
Okay, all right.
At this moment of time, okay.
But with the players available in today's market, with Rodrigo available, Nico Williams available, what do you call it?
Yeah. Fantasy football, yeah.
The guy at Atlanta, what's his name? Lookman. I would look at all those guys before I look at what do you call it? Mbeumo. Maybe it's hairline tax. I don't know, but regardless,
he's only 25.
I'm telling you, the hairline tax is mad. Because if he had a full head of hair, he would look younger, and a lot more people would be actually interested in signing him. It's the fact that he looks 40 years old.
Classic Arsenal fan, more up about the aesthetics and the look of things versus the productivity of the player. Classic Arsenal.
Don't act like that's not why Man City signed Jack Grealish for 100 million, bro. Aesthetics matters.
That had nothing to do with the signing of Jack Grealish. Aesthetics matters. Hilarious.
Morgan Gibbs-White is another one you guys are signing for that kind of money. We don't know what's going to happen with that. We'll see.
Is Gibbs-White linked to City? Have I missed something?
Gibbs-White, bro. He's a big money signing, bro.
Oh, wow.
I'm seeing Man City fans like Hamza and Martin are fighting online saying he's not good enough. He's good enough. He's not good enough.
I don't think he's good enough. I don't see what you lot. I think you're just trying to find an English player at this point. I don't know.
Vader, let's go to you since Jay bottled it. Let's go to you.
Yeah, I'm here.
I can hear you. Give me 1 sec. I can hear you guys.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not upset like other City fans with this signing. No, it's not going to be 100 million. We need to stop that. It's probably going to be around 60 to 80, unfortunately. But I'm not mad at the signing. We need to replace players that are going to go, right? Jack Grealish is probably going to go. James McAtee are probably going to go. We need to maintain a certain amount of English players in our squad. No one can argue that Gibbs-White has had a good season. He played for Forest, and Forest have been in the mix challenging. If that's a player that we need in our squad of 25, I'm not upset with it. Is he a starter mainly? No. But do we need that? There was a time where we needed, like, no disrespect, a James Milner, a Fabian Delph, right? We need some players.
He could become a starter as well. He's young enough and he's got talent, and in the right position. If Pep utilizes him in the right way, maybe he could become a starter. Like people will look at some of the smaller teams. Like I remember when we signed what's his name, Wijnaldum from Newcastle. People were like, why are we signing him? He's just been relegated.
How much did you spend top dollar for him at the time?
We paid 30 million, I think, for Wijnaldum, which was not a small amount of money. It wasn't a huge, maybe it's 25 million, something like that. But it wasn't a small amount.
What would that be in today's market? Like 60?
Maybe 45, maybe 45, 50 million, maybe 45 million.
All right. They're looking at negotiating anywhere between 70 to 100 million. That's what Nottingham
It's-
Forest want.
Well, that's the fourth
I'm
one. That's
sure
not
it's
what you're
gonna-
going to get.
It's a bit different because both Andy Robertson and Wijnaldum, they came from relegated clubs, and maybe it's a bit disingenuous to put relegated clubs out with Forest. Forest have had a good season, and maybe they're going to play Champions League next season as well. But we shouldn't just turn our nose up at some players. There are of the teams that are relegated this season. Look at Delap. He's highly touted.
All right, you know what? Everyone in the chat, let me know. Morgan Gibbs-White to City. Is it a good deal, bad deal, or unsure? Because I am in the more of the camp that is not a good deal. I think Gibbs-White going to Man City is an extremely underwhelming signing for the likes of Man City, unless they go and get Florian Wirtz on top. If they go get Florian Wirtz, and Gibbs-White is just like another ad to the window, amazing. But if Gibbs-White is their big summer signing, really is not a needle mover for them.
Bro, he's 25 as well. So you're literally going for people that you think that can win you something now. Because I don't know, man. It's like usually you guys, how much? What, 65 mil? How much is he gonna go for?
70. Okay, average price. Let's say 80 mil. Because City wants 60. Manchester City wants 60. That's like their highest that they've spoken about yet. And on the Nottingham Forest side, they're talking 100 million. So if we speak in the middle, probably 80 million pounds. Jay's in the building. Welcome, Jay. Oh shit, what's going on with this camera today? Keeps bugging out.
That's
Okay,
a
there it
lot of
is.
money for Gibbs, man.
Jay, you there? Oh, bro, it sounds like you're dead tired, bro. You good, bro? Jay, rated R, you there, bro? All right, his thing's moving mad.
I think it's his internet.
Anyways, go ahead, Vader. Continue.
Oh, I think Vader's got us.
Look, I don't know. Ultimately, just like with any signing, we're only really going to know how effective it's going to be and how much value is going to be in it once he starts playing for City, if he does indeed join them. I would say, I mean, 80 million sounds a bit toppy, but we are ultimately, if until he starts playing and performing,
Yes, Jay.
or not, as the case may be, then we'll know whether it's good value for money.
Sorry, you can't hear us, Jay.
Just technology, man. Technology.
Technology.
Sounds like a techno song. Technology.
Jesus Christ, man.
You just did a robot. You just did the robot a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. Anyways, getting back to Morgan Gibbs-White, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not somebody in a position to tell Man City fans how to get their business done, because their club has been running the club very well. But this could potentially be another Nunes situation where they get a player from another team. And I've spoken to Wolfie. Wolfie has told me on many occasions he's not that kind of player that's ready for a move to a Man City, a very technical team. He doesn't shoot well from distance. He's not really a goal scorer. He's not a dribbler from deep. If they were to go get Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa, that would be a better fit.
I like him, bro. I would take him at United
Hey,
as well.
can you hear us now, brother? All right. We'll work with what we have today, because I don't know what's going on.
Again, there's a question in the comments. It says, would you take Gibbs-White to replace Odegaard?
I don't think Gibbs-White's an upgrade on Odegaard, no.
Wouldn't say it's an
Odegaard,
upgrade, but it will offer something different, I guess.
What?
It'll get you some goals, which one thing Odegaard can't seem to get right now. It will definitely get you some goals.
Odegaard in his worst seasons is better than Gibbs-White at scoring goals.
Is it?
What is his worst season?
Odegaard right now is having his worst season.
So how many goals does Odegaard have? And how many does Gibbs-White have?
Probably pretty bad. But Gibbs-White, his best goal scoring season in the Premier League is 5 goals. Odegaard is probably on his worst season right now, and he's on 2 goals. So it's not really, you can't really, I'm not really going to compare the goals alone. Assists, he has 7 assists. So fair play. He's having a poor season, but he has 7 assists. Vader, welcome.
Also, if you surround him with better,
can you hear us, Jay?
Right?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry.
Technology, it's working. Let's go.
Yeah, good. Yeah, sorry. Disaster setup today.
Okay.
I remember the Arsenal
Before we go
cooking.
any further, I've said Gibbs White. I think it's a bad deal. Jay,
Why?
I think it's a bad deal because
It's not.
one, I think the
There is
level
no
of
why.
money,
Vader, there is no why. How dare you ask that?
I think the level of money invested. I think the level of money you're investing in Gibbs White, you can get two. I could name two better players you can get than him right away
I
for
don't-
the same amount of money. With Xavi Simons, and another English talent, Morgan Rogers. I would value those two players as somebody who would fit in
Bro,
the City
I think
system.
Cherky is better than him and he's younger, and you
Right,
probably
okay,
get him for
so
25 mil.
We need an English player, guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is-
so-
Morgan Rogers, former
Right,
Man
just-
City
sorry,
academy player.
just one thing on this, because
Sorry, Jay.
I like to think I'm a big number 10 guy. Like, you know, like when you look at players, like not everybody is good at rating players in every position. Like, you'll probably know when you look at players and you try and like rate them, there's certain positions you're better at rating than other positions. Yeah, I'm good at rating number 10s. Yeah, like I've always been good at rating number 10s. Yeah, I don't think you're good at rating number 10s.
Who can confirm this, Jay?
Because I saw your takes on Bruno Fernandes, Igal, and that's how Bruno Fernandes is like the acid test of how you rate a player. Yeah, if you don't rate Bruno Fernandes highly, you don't know how to rate number 10s. So with Gibbs White, if you're not getting Florian Wirtz, yeah, there's a number of number 10s who have different advantages and disadvantages, but none are really fundamentally better than the others. Yeah, there's not a huge gap between the rest of the number 10s. If City want to get Gibbs White, I like Gibbs White. I think he's got a good skill set. I think he's got a high ceiling. And I think that the style of play that he's playing at Forest, you're not seeing all of his skill set. He's playing more transition ball. So you're looking at a guy that Rodgers is dribble first. City don't need a dribble first number 10. Yeah, they need a pass first number 10.
Is Gibbs that though? Because Gibbs for me, he seems more of like an off the ball merchant. He presses a lot. He's a high pressing guy.
But that's what you get when you play for a Forest team, isn't it? That the majority of the skill set that you're looking for from him for Forest is pressing off the ball.
I think that's what Pep wants him for, though. I think that's what Pep actually might.
Yo, guys, enough about Forest. I need to ask you guys a question about City. And City win their game. Kevin De Bruyne does what he does. But Ahmed and City and Chelsea are both on my neck. And welcome, Ahmed, by the way. Hope you're doing well. I thought you were at the game when you said you were driving home. I was like, holy shit.
No. I went to watch a wrestling event today. So no.
Oh, you guys watch? Beloved.
You rate Garnacho. I don't really think you can judge what a 10
Roman or
Garnacho's not a 10. Garnacho's not a 10. Jay said.
Sorry, hold on.
No, hold on, Jay.
Let me
Jay
just
said
answer
he's
that
good
quickly.
at rating 10s. Garnacho's not a 10, so don't hold him to that.
Thank you.
Exactly.
So I like Garnacho
Big up,
because
Shaq.
he's 21 and I think he's got a decent skill set and I think he can improve. That's like, it's not, I don't say that Garnacho's a world beater or anything. I just say I like the player. Like, do you know what I mean? As in, like, I'm allowed to. You like Martinelli, yeah? Yeah. Like Martinelli is just Timo Werner with better PR. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, man.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's very easy to run narratives on players. Yeah.
When did Timo Werner ever score
So
15 goals in the
that's what I'm
league?
trying to say.
Can I
When
just
did
say,
you-
because sorry. Can I just say, I don't know who this brother name is, Keyman is, yeah. Listen, man, I think you need to mature, mate. You know what I mean? I can do whatever I want. You know what I mean? So let's chill out, big man. You know what I mean?
And also, Shax.
Hey, I don't know why people let people watch what they want to watch. Some people
man,
watch.
it's weird behavior, bro.
I don't mind. And the funniest thing is that
Some people watch anime and they get made
after
fun of.
Garnacho scored this goal this weekend, why would you even be bringing up Garnacho this weekend? Now it's like the worst time to be bringing up Garnacho. You should have brought him up last week. Bring him up next week.
Bro, you know what? I
after he
made
scores
the
a screamer.
comparison. I made the comparison to them signing Mason Mount and letting Scott McTominay go. Shouldn't Manchester United just kept Scott McTominay?
I said Scott McTominay over Mount for sure.
All right, so let's get to City because we haven't spent too much time on City lately. Vader,
Yeah, man.
Manchester City go 1 win in 13, and they're now sitting 3 points behind Arsenal. And everyone is going, ha ha ha! Look at you, Arsenal. We're only 3 points behind you.
Yeah.
But
no, hold on. Not everyone. Igal, do you remember at the show on Friday when I said when I said to you, hold on, you're not as far forward. I think these teams will finish above you. They'll catch you, and you
all
kind of
right, you know what? Let's just point it out. Are Arsenal now in the top 5 race?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Yes, you are.
Absolutely.
Interesante. Muy interesante indeed. That's what I'm gonna say.
What language are you speaking, bro?
Spanish, man.
Listen, Spanish,
a
man.
little
Come
bit.
on.
You never heard pidgin Spanish before?
I mean, little bit of the broken
That's all I
Spanish.
know.
Little bit of
All I know
broken
is
Spanish.
por
You
qué.
know what I mean?
All I know is por qué. So Arsenal are in the top 5 race now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not. Listen, you're not really in a top
Ray
5.
knows Spanish.
See,
Like you're not
Because
really
of
like
that.
listen,
Go on,
like
Philip.
tongue in cheeky, gal. Like you're in a race. You're not
See
really
me,
in a
amigo.
race. Obviously, you're gonna comfortably finish inside the top 5.
Okay, let me tell you
I
something.
don't think you're gonna finish top 2 now, though.
Arsenal play Liverpool away next. Then we play
Wow.
Newcastle, and the final game of the season we play Southampton. So
Yeah.
we need to get minimum 4 points from the remaining 3 games to secure top 5.
Yeah. I can see you finishing like 3rd or 4th. I do think City will catch you now.
Vader, what are you saying? You think you're going to overtake Arsenal come the end of the season?
Listen,
Wow.
the one thing I know is that my team plays to the very end. That's what we do. It's in our DNA. All right. M's no longer here, but he has that unfortunate memory of Aguero doing the madness, right? We fight, we play to the very end. We're going to do that with this season. Whether we finish ahead of you or not, it's not my concern. It really isn't, because I'm still looking at the FA Cup. And the reason why I may catch
bars
you,
now.
hey, I always speak like this. The reason why we might catch you as well, Igal, is because listen, and I'm giving you the out. I'm giving you the prepared excuse. You're looking on to the Champions League. If you happen to get past PSG, you guys could care less about the league again, because then it extends a couple more weeks where you're going to be focused on the
now
UCL.
You're talking my language. Now you're talking.
You know what I mean? So whether we get past,
yeah, the Toronto man's out here still eat.
But
listen, bro.
If you guys, say for example, we're talking about hypotheticals. If you go out of Europe, right, on Wednesday, does it make any difference?
Get there when you get there, Rack.
No. 1 minute, you can't do this is not like some hypotheticals. If we're going to do hypotheticals, we'll do all the hypotheticals.
Why?
If you go out,
I wanted to keep it on City for a second.
Okay.
I want to keep it on City for a second. The City fans like Hamza celebrating being shameless.
No, he's not celebrating. Don't do that. He's not celebrating.
He was.
No, he's
Chelsea
pointing
fans,
out.
Chelsea
go
fans
ahead.
were also celebrating today, but that's a different situation. Now, what I'm saying is he's celebrating the fact that you guys are 3 points behind us instead of criticizing your team about the fact that you're 20 plus points behind Liverpool.
Yeah, because for the same reason why you were punching downward when we were 1-13, talking all big and bad, and now look how far or not how far you are from us. So when you do all that punching down when we're having our bad run,
it's understandable when you spend 200 million in this January window.
What's understandable?
You're gonna improve.
So this is hold on, Jay. No, Jay, hold on. This is why people go at you, Igal. Because the time
I said it's wrong. You spent 200 million. You're gonna.
Yeah, I know. But when you make up your face, like what's so confusing? When you talk ball and you're being intelligent, everyone's calm. When you then do the agenda talk and you just want to throw out, you spent 200 million. What we spent has nothing to do with how we've turned things around. Because if you've been paying attention, hold on, Igal. I know. Sorry, actually, you know what? You're too focused on the UCL, so you're probably not looking at the league. Pep is not leaning on those players that were bought in the January transfer window. Other than Marmoush, those other players have been riding the bench. They've been learning. So Pep has been able to get his players back healthy, and this is what you're seeing. It's not the 200 million. That's an easy narrative. That's what I would expect the low-hanging fruit Arsenal fans to want to bring up as a point. But he's leaned on Marmoush solely. The other signings, they've been here or there. All right. And you're hearing City fans criticize Pep. Why did you spend all this in January to not even use them? So don't do the lazy. Oh, of course we're going to get back 3 points off Arsenal when we spent 200 million. It's not in context. But if you want to run it, run it.
Also, yeah,
I was just saying you won the league 4 years in a row. I would think you'd be focusing on trying to win the league rather than focusing on finishing.
Okay, but Igal, listen, look at it like this, yeah. everything exists in the same universe. Yeah. So the points that you make when you criticize people, they exist in the same universe as when you want to praise other people. So the praise that you wanted to give your club for being still in the title race and being above City, you know, all those narratives, you know, the terrible season Foden's having, etc., etc. All of those things have to come back because it all exists in the same universe. Yeah. And in that universe, City have a very strong chance of finishing above you. So that somebody would then turn around and say, hey, you're being disingenuous, Igal, because all the stuff you were saying 3-4 months ago, yeah, it's still in the same universe. Like the City team that you were telling me were terrible and has fallen off and blah blah blah, they're about to finish above you, maybe. So what does that tell you about your team? Yeah, if City can turn up for half a season and finish above you, if City can lose 4-0 at home to Tottenham, but then turn it around, for you to finish third in a 2-horse race. Because I know you got to finish third in a 2-horse race.
I know what you're doing, Ahmed.
All I'm saying to you, guys, listen.
I swear to God, bro, I didn't even know.
I just want to say to you, because everything you're going through, I've been through as a Spurs fan. Yeah, finishing second, expecting to kick on, falling off, having serious injuries, making Champions League latter stages. Yeah, and above all, we were told you got to win. Yeah, so all I'm hearing from you at the moment, Igal, all I'm hearing from you at the moment is excuses as to why you're not winning. Yeah, and no ownership of I need to get over the line. No one says Arsenal aren't a good team, but you have spent the season bigging up what you've done. And if City turn around and finish above you and win a trophy, what the hell have you been talking about all season then?
But with respect, it's not just a gal, it's probably 75% of Arsenal fans all this season have been like, you know, Champions League. Like about what 2-3 months ago, it was if we win this game and Liverpool lose this. So, you know, it's quite embarrassing if you do go out.
Like the video, people.
Next week, bro. I'll be real. All Arsenal fans.
Ahmed, talk to me. Chelsea's also 4 points behind Arsenal. You think you can catch us? Ahmed, you're on mute. Is Ahmed there?
I am there. Sorry, I forgot I was on mute. Listen,
I am there.
Yeah, but the thing is that I think it's gonna be a bit more difficult for us because again they've got Newcastle, Forest, and United. So I think we're probably gonna win one of them, if not two. But it's going to be, I think, it's still going to be very difficult, right? In the sense that we've got tough fixtures coming up, that and so maybe not. We may match you, maybe I think at best, but I think we might be still be a point or two behind you at the end of the day. And I don't think that really matters to me if I'm ahead of Arsenal or not. For me, I've got an objective that I have to get, which is getting top 4, and I'm doing my job to get that right now.
Top 5 in Conference League, right? That's Chelsea's objective.
Exactly. And that's Champions League secured and the Conference League secured. Personally, I would have liked the FA Cup or Carabao Cup. That was basically my personal objective for the season, but we couldn't get that. But as long as you get our minimum expectations, that's what matters for me.
So is Arteta going to need to be asked questions? 110%. Are the players focusing on the Champions League? I do agree they are. As for us dropping points, you've dropped so many points. And yet you guys have been so inconsistent that nobody's come close to us because really and truly we had that gap. We had that wiggle room. We were still in the title race up until like February. Since February, we've been in free fall, drawing games, losing first Bournemouth. This is our 4th defeat of the season or 3rd defeat. I forget exactly how many. I think it's 4th. And it just goes to show you that like the main reason why we've been struggling. I'm not going to talk about referees. I'm not going to talk about anything else besides just our performances. It's been the final third. That's been the biggest issue. We can control games. We have the defensive output to show that we've conceded the least goals in the league. But where we struggle is in the final third, being effective and capitalizing on our chances. We don't do that. And lately, talking about set piece kings, well, we're conceding the most set pieces in the league. You can say
it's a crazy one, eh? This whole set piece thing. start of the season, they were scored so many set piece goals, but the number of set piece goals Arsenal have conceded of late is absolutely flabbergasting. Especially like,
we've conceded 3 in the last 2 games.
What's happened to Nicholas Hover's mural? Is Nicholas Hover that shit should be defaced?
Yeah, man. You know what's funny, man? We Chelsea. You know what's funny? Like, from a Chelsea perspective, we have like the shortest, probably if not one of the shortest teams in the league. Yeah, and we're not even conceding that many set pieces compared to you, which is what makes it funny.
But this is another thing. And listen, some of the comments.
Die by the sword.
So some of the comments might not realize why I'm riding Igal like a Bronco. Yeah,
big pause. What the fuck?
As soon as I heard riding a gal,
because
very immature.
Earlier in the season, Igal, do you remember us having a conversation about me saying to you that the number of goals that you score from set pieces is not sustainable? Yeah. Now, this is another manifestation of you've lost Gabriel. So when you had Saka out, you lost a set piece taker. You got Gabriel out, so you're missing somebody that can attack the set pieces, right? So that's not sustainable for you guys. Now you started conceding goals on the other side. For me, like Rats so tongue-in-cheek said, this guy is the best guy in the world when things were going well, but you slowly started letting set pieces in. Slowly started, just conceding these kind of goals. And it's like, Ben White, you better pray that Timber's fit for PSG.
Timber's out.
Is that confirmed? Because apparently
Kvara versus Ben White, it's a wrap.
Odegaard as well.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Wait, what about Odegaard? Is Odegaard playing?
Odegaard's playing. That shit's bullshit.
All right, cool.
That's what I'm saying. And again, that's my thing. It's like
no Timber's still a miss though.
Like for me,
I'm so sorry, Jay. If we can just spend one moment here, I'm really surprised about the level of drop off here that Ben White's had. Because for me, this guy, at the very least, one of the things I used to give Ben White credit for was that he was a steady Eddie, Mr. Consistent. You know what I mean? I'm just surprised. Is it? I don't even know. Like, I'm surprised. I don't even know where it's come from. Is it like being overplayed? I have no idea. Like,
injury,
what's
1 second. You do know he's played 14 games all season.
Yeah, so he's been injured. He's been out, Ben White. Yeah, bro. And Timber's been playing really good, bro. So you can't just come in and walk into the team.
It's not a thing. It's not a thing where he has been playing and he's been bad. He has not been available.
Fair enough. Like that's what I was asking.
He had surgery.
I was really surprised.
But what I think what I'm saying is saying he had
an ankle. Was it an ankle or an Achilles injury? And he had surgery.
Yeah, but like, listen, the thing about Ben White is that obviously Timber is a much better defensive fullback than him. Yeah, and you're playing one of the best left wingers in the world. Yeah, and Arsenal need Timber for this. I don't like. And I'm happy to be proven wrong, but I don't see how it'll be like if you saw Kvara versus Trent or something. It's like obviously White's better defensively than Trent, but I mean,
Ben's
he's
better.
Not got me. He's not got a chance. Like there's no way that White can win this fight, and that means
he's got a chance.
No, he doesn't, bro.
I think he's got a chance. I think Ben White's good defensively, man. I don't think he's bad defensively. I don't think he's
He's not bad, but Kvara outstanding one-on-one.
Yeah, but it's going forward where you're going to miss something with Timber. It's going forward, isn't it? That's where you're going to miss something with Timber.
I think Timber's a huge because even if you look at the game, how Timber played Kvara in the first leg, he wrestled control back in that duel. He was getting cooked for the first 20, 25 minutes. It takes a good player to be able to pull control back into into that. And I think that the consequence of this now is Saka's going to have to drop back to support White, and that's going to hurt Arsenal offensively in a game that they need to score 2 goals to go through.
I think Arsenal going to sit in
we're shifting the movement so fast in the conversation. I just want to say the set pieces that we've been conceding lately has been down to 2 things. 1, Gabriel defensively. Gabriel missing, number 1. Number 2, when we conceded some of the goals earlier, Saliba was also missing in that game versus Aston Villa, where we conceded 2 set pieces. And when it comes to the rest of it, honestly, I'm looking at the team overall, and I'm saying it's because we don't take our chances in the final third. We would not be in these positions conceding these kind of goals if we were better in the final third and taking our chances. We had so many opportunities. Even look at the PSG game. We had 2 good opportunities, no clinical finishing. But Jay, you're right. I'll give it up to you. You've said certain things, and some of them have come true. And when it comes to your takes on sustainability and everything like that, sometimes you don't want to hear things that are not going to are working well.
Bro, you weren't wrong to at the time. Only time can prove me right or wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I can
Well,
say
also, don't forget, Arsenal last season.
What's his name? No,
One
but
second. We have 500 people here. Please hit that like button, please. Sorry, Rak, go ahead.
No, we had the stream when I forget his name now. The other Arsenal fan, he came on and when we were saying about this stuff that was unsustainable. And
Matt.
Matt, yeah. And look, don't get me wrong, he made some good points. We had a good chat in the end. But
it was good.
It was more about it wasn't so much the number, it was the over reliance, right? Because if you were scoring plenty of goals from open play as well, then scoring 15 goals from set pieces is not really an issue. But when you're scoring, I'm making these numbers up just to make a point. If you're scoring 15 goals from set pieces, but you're only scoring 5 goals from open play, that's a heavy over-reliance.
It's also winning goals, opening goals, very decisive goals.
You're winning 1-0, 2-0
pieces.
100%.
It was against you guys, against Man United.
Yeah, we
right? They
said
scored
it,
2 set piece goals and they beat 2-0. And we know Man United haven't had the best season. And look, sometimes you will get set piece goals, and
we won a game against Tottenham with set piece too.
You've won so many games of set pieces. We've been saying this all season, again, not just you, but we've been saying this all season. But a lot of Arsenal fans were saying, you know what, though, this is a good thing. So when the team doesn't score, when our attackers are not having a good day, this is a blessing. This is a benefit. This isn't something we need to be focusing on. Now, you're starting to see that, not even now, it's the last couple of months, you've seen that it's been a problem.
Yeah, what I would say,
I don't think scoring from set piece is the problem. I think the problem is we don't have enough other ways of scoring goals. But that's the
whole point. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
No one's scoring goals from set pieces is not a problem. That's a good problem. That's a good. That's a positive. The negative is you're not getting in goals from other avenues. And just another thing on your defense. Look, I think Saliba and Gabriel are a fantastic partnership. The positive about them is that they complement each other perfectly. The problem without Gabriel is, and look, I'm sorry to say it, for me, one of the prerequisites in the modern day game to be an elite level centre back, you need to be exceptional in the air. If you're not a great aerial centre back, you're never going to be elite. And I think that's one of the qualities that Saliba relies on Gabriel for. And I think that he's come a cropper a little bit this season, aerially especially since Gabriel's been out.
I just wanted to add on what you're saying. Saliba and Gabriel, neither of them are going anywhere this summer. I'm seeing all the rumors popping up again.
Next summer though.
Saliba's
maybe next summer. Jay, I agree with you. Maybe next summer, but right now, people need to relax with the he's leaving now stuff. It's not happening.
Listen, Arsenal have built a nice squad. They've got a good squad of players. And I think for me, just watching them, and that's a great point about the Saliba aerial thing that I hadn't really noticed, is that the comfortability that you have when you're centre-back partner, it's yin and yang, isn't it? You give and take. So, maybe Saliba will do the covering, maybe do more of the aura defending, maybe do more of the, striding out from the back sort of thing. But I think that Gabriel, aerially, and in terms of organization and control as well.
They're good yin and yang.
Yeah, 100%. They're a great partnership. And I think Kyrgios actually played well. He's not actually played badly. But it's like when you're a decent player playing well, is still a world of difference from a very good player playing good. You know what I mean? It's still a big gap.
Would you guys do would you guys go and sign the De Huysen or what do you call it? Go and get that kind of center back to come into this room so you have that cover, or do you think that kind of player would want to start somewhere else?
I think you need a third center back. Personally, I think Timber at center back is good.
I don't think you need it now.
I don't know. I don't think the drop off from Timber like Saliba to Timber is I think Timber's a better
In
centre
the
back.
air, bro. In the air. That's the
You
point.
know, you know what it is, yeah.
You guys
You
are
know-
all right for now, bro.
You know,
need
I
a
think you
striker
guys
and a
are.
centre
I think
forward.
personally, for me, a guy that you haven't tried as much in centre back position is like maybe a Calafiori, right? Maybe.
I was thinking
you
that
know,
They're
as well.
looking to sell him.
No way,
Already?
already.
We got AC Milan.
Cauliflower's gone already.
AC Milan are willing to offer us exactly what we paid for him, and if we can get what we paid for him back, and we can
I
go
would
get,
because
sell
like
him.
because
and
because
we
for
can
me,
go get, and we can go get Hato.
but the thing is again,
he's always
but
injured,
hey,
bro.
but
So maybe
the
you should sell him.
problem with a guy like a Joe Hato is you were just talking about your height problem, right? Joe Hato is not a tall lad, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right, so again, you know, you're kind of going back to a similar situation where you're losing the height ability, right? So you again, I think for me, if you're Arsenal, listen, if you're saying okay, we need a centre back, that's a number that can be a number 3, that's got a bit of height on him, that can do a job. You know, ironically, you know who's that fella that's at Everton, Brentford? I do think
Brentford would be good for Arsenal.
Brentford would be a great third option in the sense that I don't think he'd ask for starting minutes, right?
He can play left back for you as well,
right? Yeah, and you can bed him in with good time as well. You can actually bed him in with good time too.
You got Ben White there though. Sorry, Ahmed. Can't Ben White chip in as a right centre back sometimes as well?
I think
White's.
I think when you the problem is when you've got a guy that just come back from an Achilles injury, bro, they take quite a bit of time to come back usually. Like they're not, and sometimes they're not even the same player. Like I always say, look at this Callum Hudson-Odoi, bro. Post Achilles, bro, it's night and day.
I just don't think you need. Sorry, Jay, go on, bro.
No, I was just saying, I feel like Ben White feels like a right back now. Do you know what I mean? Like almost like you remember when Ramos started as a right back and then moved to centre back.
The middle.
Yeah, sometimes when you move your position, it's like everything. Like Ben White's all about like overlapping and holding your position and trying to defend out wide and stuff. Like the nuance of being a centre back is so different now. Like I only see him maybe being the third centre back in a right-sided centre back,
a back three
in a back 3 kind of energy. It's just and I think also maybe Arteta saw something because obviously Saliba's come through. He never really rotates White back into the centre back position, even to give Saliba.
That's all they had though.
Let me guide us back into the main topic though. PSG's next. I think we can do. I think my team can do it. I think we're gonna go there off the back of a poor performance. Everyone's gonna say writing us off. These are the kind of games where we step up, and I'm thinking we're gonna.
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna do something that I don't usually do. I'm gonna back your gas slightly here.
You're shameless.
Slightly. Let me hear me out though. Yeah. In the sense that obviously, PSG did actually rest a lot of their players against Strasbourg because that's Chelsea's B team. I actually watched that game. Actually, they did lose to Strasbourg, but I think for me, I think it's unfair to say Arsenal have a chance. Yes, they do have a chance. Yes, they can do the job if they want to. I think for me, the question we are not coming back to, right, and we've said this before, to Gal, is like if you look at the previous semi-finals that you've had, are you able to get over the hump? I think the question I always ask to the Arsenal fans is, do you think that the players are in the right mental frame to do that job? Coming back,
do they believe?
Yes, exactly.
The players have more self-belief and are more on page with what's going on with the manager than the fan base. The fan base is the one.
That's why I always ask. That's why I always say
the fan base. If they hear half the stuff that comes out of Bukayo Saka's mouth, they would call him an Arteta sexual. And that's just from what I'm seeing online. The fan base is very divided, and there's certain people who are confident. There's certain people who are quietly confident. There's certain people who are saying we're already out the door. There's certain people who are saying I don't know what the hell is going to happen. And then there's certain people who are saying I'm ready for next season. Shut up. I don't want to talk to you the rest of the year.
I just think the reason why I said what I was saying basically is because what matters is the players, mate. Listen, it doesn't matter what the fan base is saying, what fans are saying. It matters what the manager and the players are generally thinking if they can get the job done. That's all it comes down to, really. And if they think they can do it, then we'll see on Wednesday.
But Ahmed, if if you're telling me, yeah, semi-final, losing
Listening.
1-0, you're 1-0 down to Paris Saint-Germain. Semi-final, Arsenal never won this trophy before. If this isn't the game for everyone to be on the right track, and this isn't the game where it's blood, sweat, and tears on that pitch, and this is the game where I don't care, injuries, red cards, everything go. This is the game where Arsenal need to turn up, bro. Because
listen, let me just add something to that, because the thing about Arsenal and looking at this game, yeah, like under Arteta, I think they said I saw the stat the other day. Arsenal haven't scored in their last 6 semi-finals.
7.
Yeah? 7. Now, the thing about Arsenal, the reason why I have no hope. Listen, the reason why I have no hope for Arsenal is that in the last 1 year or so, yeah, Arsenal have played 2 games where they've messed up the first game, yeah, versus Bayern Munich last season in the Champions League, against Newcastle as well, yeah, in the League Cup. Both ties, they were unable to turn it around. Not even close, yeah? The thing about when you've got players missing is, I remember when Spurs made Champions League final, you know, you remember seeing Kane running onto the pitch and you're not always going to have 100% of your players. Yeah. I feel with Arsenal sometimes there's always a player missing as to why they're not able to get over the line. Do you know what I mean? I feel like they have a self-limitation within their own self, and they've got the built-in excuse of, well, such and such wasn't available, such and such wasn't. I feel like they just need to get they just need to get it done. But there's no evidence, yeah, there's no evidence that Arsenal can do this. And people in the comments, the team I support has no bearing on my ability to have logic.
Yeah. Jay,
if I support Tottenham and we're in a relegation fight, doesn't matter.
Doesn't mean you don't have an opinion. 100%. You're allowed to still talk.
It's nothing. If you think that the opinion I'm offering isn't based on pure facts and results, yeah, you messed up against Bayern Munich last season at home, yeah, and you weren't able to go away and recover the tie. You messed up against Newcastle in the League Cup. You weren't able to fix the second leg. That has nothing to do with Tottenham being bad. These are factual, evidential examples of what's happened to Arsenal when they've not been able to win the first leg in these ties. So there's no hope for me here that they're suddenly going to find something that's not been within them before. Yeah.
No, but you know what? No. Think about the Real Madrid game, Jay. Yeah, everyone, including myself, I'll put my hands up, guys. Yeah, I did not expect you to get a result that game. I'll be honest with you. I had my popcorn out. I was chilling. I thought this is going to be the day. This is the day. Come on, man. That's all I got.
All right. I'm just gonna say this.
You never know.
I've already heard majority of your takes on the PSG game. My final take.
Newcastle this season, Johan, is Newcastle. Was Newcastle this season losing 4-0 in aggregate to Newcastle? Go look at the team that you played second leg at St. James's Park with Newcastle. That team is stronger than the team you're going to put out against PSG. And you want me to think that you're going to go to PSG and win? Okay, cool. We'll see. But I haven't really, apart from the fact that Arsenal could do it, there's no real evidence that I've got here that supports that they're going to be able to do this.
Fair. We gotta prove you wrong. Ahmed, you still there? We gotta finish off with the Chelsea Liverpool section, and I'm just gonna start off by saying, Rak, you got your guard of honor. Ahmed, you got your win. Both teams
got one of them. We got one of them.
Listen, man. Listen. It's a win-win situation. You ready on the league? I got my win. You got your guard of honor. It's a win-win situation.
I can't hate on Ahmed. Look how happy he is, man.
Man, I need the win. I'll be honest. We needed the win for top 4, and we got the win for top 4. I can't lie to you. This is the biggest win we've had all season, in my personal opinion. Yeah, because Newcastle lost as well today, and we won. We're now equal opposed.
True.
No, they drew a current, but I saw 1-0 previously. Irregardless, it doesn't matter. We are now level on points with them, and we should be ahead of them in 4th place only because we've beaten them. Yeah, at home.
Ahmed, credit to you, because that Fulham game is looking like a really big result.
Man, he saved my season.
Yeah.
Saved my season, bro. Pedro Neto has saved my season. Listen, I can't lie to you, I'm very happy. Obviously, Palmer, I think, played his best game since it's for a very, very long while.
What do you think about your players celebrating top 4?
I think, listen, at the end of the day, for a lot of these young guys, it's a step in on the way to the top for me.
No,
I'm not going to.
From the perspective of Chelsea fans always being the first ones to make fun of Arsenal fans about this, I'm not going to get on to you, but for example, Carefree Lewis always said at Chelsea we don't celebrate Champions League qualification. Mateus, same thing. Matisse, same thing.
I know what you mean. Listen, I think as a fan, you shouldn't be celebrating it. That's why I'm not celebrating as a fan, making top 4. But I think from a player perspective, if I'm speaking specifically from a player perspective, a lot of these guys are young guys, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For them, this is their dream, right? So that's why
I
support
wages. It's about the wages for the players.
Again, I'll tell you,
Champions League football.
Bonus.
We're not gonna talk on that. You know what I mean? We're just having dinner for the love of the game, man. It's not always about the money. That's what, you know what I mean? But obviously, listen, I as a fan, I understand that point of view. But obviously, from a player perspective, I think it's a bit more different for a number of reasons. But you know what I mean. But listen, I'm very happy.
Good game by Enzo. Amazing, a good season. Quite.
Enzo for me, he's probably top 5 midfielders in the league this season. It's in and around that conversation.
So you have Caicedo who's top 5.
I think top 10 maybe. I think
the reason why I only say that
I don't think he's played so well to be top 5.
I think for me it's also because of I think I don't like to use this GNA stat, but I think for him specifically, his output this season has clearly from block compared to
you know what? I'm gonna say top 10 maybe at a push, but maybe top, because you got to look at if you look at the teams like Liverpool have probably got 2 midfield. Has he had a better season than Szoboszlai?
Yes, he's had a better season than Szoboszlai.
I'm not sure.
I think from a perspective, yes. From output perspective,
I don't know. Like if he has, it's just because Szoboszlai's had a good to very good season.
But I would argue from what he's given Chelsea, from an output perspective, I would probably have to give it over Szoboszlai. But I get with Szoboszlai, I think maybe with him, it's a bit more about the pressing. It's the more off the ball stuff that he does really well. Which I think
you got McAllister, Gravenberch. Obviously, there are people saying Rice and stuff like that. So I feel like top 10, sure.
Fair enough. I can hear that.
About you saying top 10, but I think top 5 maybe a little bit tight.
You know what unlocks your midfield? Lavia.
Yes, and this is why. Listen, this is why I always say Lavia is the key to one of our key players. Obviously, he's been injured quite a bit this season, but he's been
his whole Chelsea career,
right? Yes, that's true. I think for me, this is why again, hopefully in the summer, we have Lavia, but we make sure we have an actual necessary backup that can do his job too, right? That's the thing you're hoping for, because Lavia, you see the way we play, bro. We're more progressive. We're faster. We're stronger. We do everything correct. So for me personally, man, that's what I'm looking for.
And obviously you'll have Santos, maybe a Suego.
And then but the thing about Chelsea, I always say, I'm never worried about the Chelsea midfield, but when they're not injured, because for me, we have one of the best midfields in the world, right? In my personal opinion, one day together, one day click, it's one of the best in the league, let alone just compared to the top 5 leagues in my personal opinion.
All right.
What do you think the biggest improvement you've seen in Chelsea over the last couple of games has been, considering the results have improved, the performances?
You know what it is?
End product.
I think it's not just. I think it's end product. I think obviously one of it, but I also think the players have decided to step up at last. Right? One of the things you guys know I've spoken about. You can't just be Palmer FC, bro. You know what I mean? We have to have the other. We have to have other.
Yeah, I know. A bit of some of these games they've just shown a bit of grit, like being 1-0 down at Fulham. They turn it around, win 2-1. Today, they come out, start fast, quick, score an early goal. They're on it.
It's almost a mentality thing, It's a mentality thing too, in my personal opinion. I think one of the things that when you're a young player, sometimes it's hard for you to get through some of these some when you're in a down period. They've gone through that period, and now it looks to have been for the better for them, right? Because they've now gone through that period. on the other side of it, and then now they can. I think that experience has kind of helped them out, in my personal opinion, too.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think I credit where credit's due with Chelsea, because I was thinking they were going to finish outside the top. I thought they were going to finish outside the top 5. That Fulham result has changed a broke man's life. Do you know what I mean, man? Now
you got a good suit on, man. You got a prestige.
I want to ask everybody.
It's like I expect Chelsea to make top 5 now, based off like.
You know what?
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. Is it down to the Forest game this on Monday to find out? Like,
I think if they lose to Crystal Palace,
they bottled it.
That could be a big nail in the coffin, in my personal opinion. It could be one of the big nails in the coffin.
You know what? People made fun of Arsenal bottling.
What are Forest fixtures? So Forest have got Chelsea
the last game of this season.
Forest were supposed to have the easiest fixtures.
Huh?
Nah.
They were supposed to have the easiest fixtures out of all of us.
Forest have hard fixtures.
Palace, Leicester, West Ham, Chelsea.
Nah, yeah, that's doable. That is doable.
West Ham away.
Yeah, to be fair, they can beat West Ham and they can beat Leicester. So that's 6 points there.
What about Palace?
Palace tomorrow's a tough game. So let's say,
All right, bro. Chelsea and last game of the season away.
Yeah,
that is a mad one.
All right, guys.
7 points.
Is the last game at Chelsea or at Forest?
There's a possibility.
Last game of the season.
Oh man, that is a game.
It's a long game, bro.
Guys, this is what I'm about to say. There's a possibility Forest could win 3 of their next 4 games, and if Arsenal don't win until the final day of the season, we could be in a situation where we're in 6th.
I think Arsenal.
You know what's funny? You're laughing, but I'm laughing. But I remember. Do you remember the season before Emery got sacked and Spurs made Champions League? But like we were so limping over the line. Like you should have beat. I think all you needed to do was beat Brighton at home. And you
is that the one where they got food poisoning? Is that the one where someone got?
No, that's the one that Basuma laughed at us.
Yeah, the one where Basuma's laughing, the meme of Basuma laughing on the pitch. Like, I'm just saying, like I don't think Arsenal can drop out of the top 5, but I do think like Arsenal are cutting this really close. You know,
like, I think the goal difference is going to be enough to get us through.
Yeah, top 4. I think Arsenal will be fine, bro. Honestly, I don't think Arsenal will. I think Chelsea.
Who's Arsenal's next 2 games?
Liverpool, Newcastle,
away,
Southampton,
both away.
Liverpool and Newcastle both away.
Southampton, I see you winning.
You know what? The only lucky thing Arsenal have is that Chelsea play Newcastle in the next 2 games, don't they?
Yeah.
So both those teams can't go.
Next week, you pick Newcastle.
Yeah. That's true.
But Aston Villa's out, guys. Aston Villa's out.
No, Villa have still got Villa are if Spurs made the Champions League final, Villa have definitely gained 3 points against us on the last game of the season.
Hey, you're not in the Champions League final yet, bro.
No, not Champions League final, Europa League final.
All right, guys. I'm gonna have to wrap it up here. But before we go, I'm just gonna ask Rack, did you have anything to say on Liverpool's performance or Liverpool at all? Because if we face you guys and you put out the similar kind of team at Anfield, that could be our first win at Anfield in years.
Nah. Liverpool will not let Liverpool.
Yeah, I think
Liverpool will not let you come to their stadium and win.
They rested Gravenberch and what's other centre mid
McAllister.
Yeah, you rested them today, and he asked him after the game, "Why did you rest him?" He was like,
"You know what? I was really disappointed in Elliott today. Like I was like, I'm a big Harvey Elliott fan, and I feel like he's one of those players that people like. He should have got more minutes. He should get more minutes. And I think people can see now, and obviously, Rack, so you can take it away, but the difference between Elliott as a sub and Elliott as a starter is quite. You know, I don't want to. He's playing a difficult Chelsea team away, but were you disappointed with him today?
Yeah, he wasn't. Look, I think there has been a lot of talking about him having more opportunities this season, and there's also been a lot of talk about him perhaps not being Slot's cup of tea. And look, today's performance didn't really help him very much. We'll see. There's a lot of talk of him potentially leaving in the summer, but he's a Liverpool fan, so he really wants to stay. But ultimately, if it's not really working for us, then maybe for the sake of his career, it might be better that he moves on. But yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, I'm disappointed with the result because obviously I don't like Chelsea, but
You played okay in bits and Spurs.
yeah, it was okay. Ultimately, look, there's not much riding on it, so it doesn't really matter that much.
We're going to have a whole build up to Arsenal, Liverpool. We're going to see each other a lot.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
Ahmed, there's one more thing I need to ask Ahmed. Ahmed, come back right now, please. Ahmed, guys, how is Cole Palmer already Chelsea all-time top 10 goal scorer?
Yeah, because I don't know if you know this, but Chelsea have always been a defensive team, bro. We don't really have that many like legend. We're not known for making attackers, bro. I don't know why this is like a something.
No, Ahmed, stop it. That is still quite a staggering thing to say. Like Cole Palmer's already top 10.
Are you sure
How is he already top 10?
Are you sure he's top 10? How many goals has he scored?
Yeah,
top
bro.
10's insane.
He's top 10 with 37 goals.
To be fair, we also, I think, listen, context as well. The guys that are like number 1, number 2, number 3 were at the club for a very, 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 very long while, right?
I would have thought,
bro,
this
because I know, for example, I think one of them is Osgood, right?
Embarrassing,
Osgood.
This
Osgood
is embarrassing.
I was going to ask whether it was how many Johnson got.
This is embarrassing. 37 goals, 38 goals, 41
goals. Is this in the league, though? I want to know, is this in the league?
That's just Premier League.
That's only Premier League. But that's still like, bro, that's 20 plus years. You're telling me you only had guys scoring what, 40 goals?
The thing about Chelsea, remember, like, our striker, for example, like
if you do the same list,
if you look at, for example, Drogba and Lampard, it kind of makes sense in the sense that both the way they both played and their style of play kind of makes sense. Even Hazard again makes sense.
Fact of the matter is, before Abramovich came along, Chelsea was shit. That's the reason.
It's the Premier League, bro. It's the Premier League, man.
One thing I defend Chelsea with is Chelsea used to like, when you have like big fat squads with 4 high quality forwards and stuff, maybe there's a little bit more rotation. Because Chelsea have always had like, do you know what I mean? Like Johnson's nice. Like, you know what I mean?
Bro, let me give you an example. Liverpool, who you played today, their 10th goal scorer is Daniel Sturridge, who's on 50. Cole Palmer's on what, 30 something?
I can't believe that, honestly, he's done
really
well.
Much of a difference. There's
no.
There's a 13 goal difference, man.
Oh my God. You know what? Hold on. 37 since the beginning of last season is actually ridiculous.
Bro, that's what I was getting. Bro,
but then
he's one goal behind Anelka.
Also look at it this way.
Anelka was only at the club, if I'm not mistaken, for 3 seasons.
Yeah, but bro, when you're looking at appearances, 135 appearances, 38 goals, 67 appearances, 37 goals. Bro, drop me out, bro.
But you need to understand the context of Anelka. I feel like we're missing the context of this player. Anelka was creating for Drogba. That's the way it used to work. They used to create for each other, right? And the bottom of the time, Drogba was number 1, Anelka was number 2. If that makes sense. That's the way it used to work.
No, but hey, listen, bro, that's what I'm saying, Ahmed. What I'm saying is,
holy
67 appearances, 37 goals.
Guess what? Bruno Fernandes is in Manchester United's top 10.
Obviously.
Yeah.
What do you know about big game Bruno? You don't know about big game Bruno. Hopefully he leaves out at home for Bilbao. But
you know who he's overtaken? He's overtaking Martial and Eric Cantona this next couple of weeks.
Yeah, but
Martial was in their top 10.
No, but look how
No,
go back.
Bro,
can you get it up?
In the top 10.
Agal, can you get it up?
Yeah, Rashford makes sense though. I'll be honest.
Yeah, you might as well. You want to put it up.
All right, you know what? Looking at other people's, the stat doesn't look so crazy.
Yeah.
But the fact that you only have 2 people in the top 100, where everybody else out of Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, we all have 3 guys at least with 100 plus goals.
Yeah, but you got Hazard. He's almost 102. He's not really that deep. I'll be honest.
He's on 85, bro, or something like that.
He's on 88, bro. Like, it's not that much difference.
No, he's on 85.
I swear Son's got nearly 100 even. Do you know what I mean?
Like, Hazard's only got 85. Anyways, Hazard's not a goal scorer. You guys always tell me that. And yeah.
No, but the point I'm trying to make is that that's separate to the point. You're just talking about the amount of goals, like the numbers at 100.
You know what? I just wanted to talk on Chelsea.
Can I ask you before you end the show? Yeah. Are you gonna? I know Arsenal are capable of doing it, but do you, in your heart of hearts, believe that you're going through to, because the thing is like when Spurs did it with
I do.
Ajax, yeah, when
I
Spurs
do.
did it with Ajax, I didn't really believe. Do you know what I mean? I was a bit like, okay, if we play to our best and the stars align, we've got a decent chance. I wasn't going there saying we're putting Ajax out. So I'm asking you right now, your opinion. What do you think? Yeah, heart of hearts, do you think you're going through?
Main
Yes.
screen to go.
I genuinely believe Arsenal will beat PSG on Wednesday. I hope they do. I hope the players turn up, and I hope that we can capitalize on the first 20, 30 minutes and get the equalizer to try to get this game going. And the way we're going to have to do it is come out of there with a 2-0 victory. I think if PSG score, it's night-night. So we need to come in there with the mentality that we're going to be set up defensively resolute, get 2 goals, and come out of there.
But it's not going to pens. It's not going
We
to pens.
cannot let it go to penalties because I don't back Raya to be a penalty specialist in Donnarumma.
Yeah, you don't want to take penalties against.
There's two goalkeepers in the world you don't want to go to penalties with: Martinez and Donnarumma.
Yeah,
So,
true.
anyways,
And Onana. And Onana. That was a
no,
joke.
Onana.
Yeah.
Onana will bring out the bull thing. Anyways, we're out of here, people. Catch you guys in the next one. Love for the
In a
love.
bit,
and
guys.
Enjoy your weekends. I mean, enjoy your weekday.
So it's
Yeah, bank holiday actually.
It's